So here we are on the third element, and I'm happy you have already gone through the decomposition and pattern identification. So you already know a lot about the computational thinking, and today we are going to learn about the abstraction. We also call it generalization. And let me tell you, this is a real wonderful thing, a phenomenon that can really help anyone to solve complex problems. And as a matter of fact, if you do not understand this, if you do not understand abstraction, you will never be able to solve complex problems. It is that important. Because the very idea of abstraction is to hide unnecessary details and choose only the relevant information, leaving behind all the complexity. But in itself, it looks like the very complex thing. So let's try to understand it. Imagine you decide to bake a cake. Now, while choosing the main ingredient, either a chocolate cake or a banana cake or a tutti frutti cake, you realize that conventionally there have been 3 different recipes for all 3 cakes, depending upon the main ingredient. Let's say you enjoy the whole process of making the batter, adjusting the consistency, choosing the essence, choosing the right baking temperature, etc. But you may also notice that all 3 recipes have a standard spine in the process. There may be a little tweak here and there, but there is really a common thing in all 3 recipes. Now, if someone asks, why not collapse all these recipes into one single standard recipe for cakes, you're already getting the idea of abstraction, right? The abstraction is all about deciding what details we need to highlight and what details we need to ignore or we can ignore. Just imagine, you want to talk about the earth and you all use globes, and which is a perfect sphere. But do you really see the earth is a perfect sphere? No. So what is a sphere? What is a globe? It's an abstraction so that people can understand many things just by letting it revolve around that one point. And many things, when you want to teach them the day and night and all those concepts, it becomes very easy for even the kids to understand things. Just imagine if it was a elliptical or a egg type shape, it would have been very, very difficult. That's exactly abstraction. Or if you see the concept of time or a calendar, it's an abstraction. We are believing that there are months, there are years. But does it really happen? Does it really exist? No. Just for the sake of understanding and communication, we, the human, created this whole concept of calendar. So calendar in itself is an abstraction where we are being given only the bare minimum information and a lot of information has been hidden. So we are not starting it from the billions of years ago and then this calendar started, or that was the first time when the earth was there, the Big Bang happened and we are now in the year 2,077,000 or something. What we say? We take it from respective times. So a Christ calendar, a Egyptian calendar and many calendars. So it is basically an abstraction. As a matter of fact, we are covered by many abstractions. The best example of abstraction so far came by abstracting the London Tube map. Prior to this historical abstraction, the map of the London Tube was a geographical map showing all the station along with other physical stuff on the map, which sometimes made it cumbersome to really understand it. And then came a revolutionary abstraction, an improved map that people can understand, and now the map of London Tube was not anymore confusing. This abstraction became so famous that all the tubes, metros all over the world used this thereafter. Albert Einstein once said, if you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself. Now, abstraction is exactly what you will do to teach the concept of a nuclear reactor to a 6-year-old kid. You will have to conceal a lot of layers of information and just give an optimum piece of content to turn this complicated system into a comprehensible idea, isn't it? So with abstraction, you can now talk about those problems which were till now not comprehensible, and now even the teams can talk about it because you have created an abstraction. We'll soon talk about the fourth element of computational thinking in our next video, and I'm sure you are getting more and more excited about this whole idea. And after that fourth element, we'll start working on some games and activities to see how this whole idea will be using in real life and how we will be using all these concepts to let the young kids understand how they can solve a given problem which is complex and which really needs computational thinking to solve it.